is a presentation of Main Street Media, your source for news, sports, and information on Main Street in Middle Tennessee.
Good afternoon and welcome into Main Street Sports today, presented by Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint. I'm Chris Yao, joined as always by the Hall of Famer, Mo Patton, coming to you from southern Middle Tennessee, where it is a beautiful day here outside, and that's unfortunate because we're going to look at it be beautiful all day today and probably not tomorrow. That's okay. We'll live. Listen, I'm trying to jinx it. I'm trying to jinx it. Well, we'll see if it works. Probably not. No, I'm not a ventriloquist. I cannot. Yeah, that was not good. Anyway, Mo, what's up? How are you?
I'm good. It drove down with the windows down.
Nice.
It's nice out. It's nice out there, and hopefully we will get a reprieve from what is being called for tomorrow.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
Windows down, radio up?
Yeah, something like that.
Yesterday was windows down, riding home with the Braves playing in the background.
Actually, I went over to Jefferson's and watched the tail end of the ball, which wasn't really the tail end. I mean, it was, I think I caught the last 5 innings or so.
But you definitely saw the onslaught.
Yes.
After the 7th run, it was like, I could have probably went home.
Yeah. But it was cool. It was nice to kind of, decompress between here and the house. So, yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's a off day for the Braves today, which means Braves Twitter will be something will happen.
Well, fortunately, the Mets are off today as well, so there's not a whole lot to talk about.
That's usually the problem.
There's not a whole lot to talk about.
That's when the drama hits Braves Twitter more than ever. Anyway, it gets crazy on off days. We don't like off days on Braves Twitter. But we got a lot to get to today. We have got Will Hester and the old school Ravenwood.
That may be pre-Will Hester right there, actually.
I don't know about the helmet color. I think they might have worn black when he was there, but this logo was there the first time around.
Was it?
Because I was looking for pictures of him and I saw him wearing a shirt with this logo. And that's the only reason I know that. He probably made the change while he was there, actually. But, old school Ravenwood helmet here. And, so repping Will Hester. He'll be with us here in just a few minutes. We're going to give you our NFL predictions. Now.
We are?
Let me preface that by saying, we don't know much about the NFL outside of the Titans. We're not huge NFL fans, which should make these predictions way more fun. Just say it. Because at the end of the year, we'll be like, well, what did we get right? I don't know. A couple of things maybe. So we'll give you our NFL predictions and we'll pick some high school football, which we know a lot more about. And you should probably listen to that far more than you listen to us talk about the National Football League. We might let Justin weigh in on the NFL. He actually pays attention to the NFL. He's a guy, he watches the Red Zone channel. Like, he cares.
I do. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I don't know if you can hear it in the background. Toot, toot.
That's exactly what's happening right now.
That's a train, random train, not me.
Yeah, it's definitely not you. But we'll get into all of that here in just a few minutes. But before we do anything else, we need to give you yesterday's results and today's schedule on the rundown.
This is the rundown.
Volleyball action on Wednesday. Eagleville blanked Fayetteville 3-0. It was Independence with a 3-0 win over visiting Oakland. Watertown in 5 sets downed Mount Juliet 3-2. It was Murfreesboro Central 3, Community 0. Summertown with a 3-1 win over Spring Hill. Lebanon 3-0 over Stewart's Creek, and Wilson Central defeated Wilson Central defeated Siegel 3-0.
That's a pretty big win for Wilson. I mean, I know Wilson Central's good, but 3-0 over Siegel. Siegel's usually really good. So
there you go.
Anyway, that kind of shocked me. I was taken aback there. In girls soccer action, Innsworth 2, Brentwood Academy nothing. Henry County blanked Kenwood 9-0. In baseball, professional ranks, it was the Rockies 8, Brewers 4, Braves 7, Athletics 3. Mike Minor gets a win for the Reds, 7-1 over the Cubs.
And started a double play with a behind the back grab.
See that? Nice.
Yeah, nice little video on Sports Grid or something like that. I saw it on Twitter. Yeah,
I'll go check it out from MLB Film Room.
nifty.
Cardinals edged the Nationals 6-5, and in minor league action, the Sounds were edged by the Charlotte Knights 5-4.
High school football action tonight. All of these are 7 o'clock kickoffs. Some of these are moved from tomorrow night. So listen up. Centennial at Antioch, Father Ryan at Cane Ridge, Republic at Clarksville Academy, Summertown travels to Collinwood, Independence hosts Pope Prep. That one was originally scheduled. Christ Presbyterian Academy goes to Montgomery Bell Academy. That one was not.
Get there early. Leave now.
Leave now. Yeah, Loretto is at Wayne County, and Springfield is at Wilson Central. That should be an interesting ballgame.
That is, well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Springfield is really good.
Mm-hmm.
So, in volleyball action at 5 o'clock, Mount Pleasant at East Hickman, Hampshire, playing host to Collinwood at 5:15. Father Ryan's at Brentwood Academy, and at 5:30, Columbia Academy goes to Providence Christian. At 6 p.m., Culleoka at Cascade, Columbia Central hosting Summit. Ezo Harding is at Friendship Christian, and Lawrence County is at Marshall County.
Also at 6 o'clock, Murfreesboro Central hosts Giles County. Riverdale hosts Stewart's Creek. Laverne travels to Siegel. Blackman is at Smyrna. Spring Hill takes on visiting Page at 6. Time undisclosed. Beach is at Station Camp.
Girls soccer at 4 o'clock, Independence Academy at Antioch. 4:30, STEM Academy hosting Lead Academy at 5 o'clock. It is East Nashville at Davidson Academy. Ezo Harding playing host to Clarksville Academy. Antioch at home against Hillwood. DCA goes to Friendship Christian. East Robertson's at Kip Nashville. McGavick's at home against St. Cecilia, while Franklin Road Academy goes to Middle Tennessee Christian. Mount Juliet Christian is at home against Nashville Christian. McEwen is at Republic, and Wilson Central at Smyrna.
5:30 starts. Lincoln County is at Murfreesboro Central. Wayne County is at Lawrence County. Lebanon hosts Laverne. Scotts Hill hosts Loretto. At 6 o'clock, Green Hill travels to Glencliff. Hillsborough is at Good Pasture. Macon County takes on visiting Greenbrier. Creekwood goes to Montgomery Central. Stewart's Creek is at Riverdale. Upperman is at Watertown. Webb School of Bell Buckle hosts Columbia Academy. Spring Hill hosts Page. And Zion Christian hosts Culleoka.
That would be a good one. At 6:30, John Overton at Valor Collegiate. Rockville hosting Blackman. Pope Prep at CPA. Dixon County's at Portland. Fairview's at home against Hillwood, while Brentwood hosts Franklin. It's Sycamore at Clarksville Northeast. Mount Juliet at Cookville. Gallatin at home against White House. And Harpeth playing host to Hickman County.
Also at 7 o'clock, Clarksville is at Harpeth Hall. Summit is at Independence. It's going to get crowded over there. West Creek is at Merrill Hyde. Columbia Central travels to Nolensville. Oakland hosts Siegel. Ravenwood hosts Centennial. Clarksville Northwest goes to Rossview, and Martin Luther King is at White House Heritage.
In professional baseball action, currently in the top of the 5th inning, the Washington Nationals and St. Louis Cardinals are tied at 4. And the Cincinnati Reds and Chicago Cubs are tied at 0 in the top of the 4th. If Cincinnati were the Cubs, that would be wild. I added this game in here because Sonny Gray's getting the start, and it's on ESPN Plus, so you can watch this when the Twins are at the Yankees at 6:05 tonight. Watch the Smyrna legend. The Giants are at the Brewers. That's at 6:40, and the Sounds are continuing their set at Charlotte tonight. And in college football action on ESPN Plus at 7 o'clock, you can catch UT Martin at Missouri State, a rematch of the second round last year. I believe it was the second round game last year. So there you go. That's going to do it for today's rundown. It's faded out. Good job. It had just rolled over, and so that was like, oh, this is the rundown.
Timing is
timing is in fact everything.
We're
Mo,
1 second away from being perfect.
yes. I hate when you don't hit the post and you're so close. Top story today, real quick. Dabo Swinney gets 10 years, $115 million. Wasn't he quitting?
Yeah, I thought he said when the players started to get paid that he was going to find something else to do. And much to the disappointment of some, that has not been the case.
Which is wild considering that he used to be the one paying the players.
Yeah.
So there's that.
There is that. Yeah. 10 years, 115 mil. I mean, that would be enough to keep me around, I guess.
I could probably handle it.
Yeah. You would think for that he could find a quarterback, though, right?
I think they found a quarterback.
You think?
I think they found one. Now, whether or not they actually, play him is.
Oh, you mean the other dude?
I think the redshirt freshman is really good.
I think I had dozed off actually by the time he got in, to be quite honest, because it had started. I watched the game to watch Dante Smith.
Yes.
And
it's the only reason I was paying. The only reason I tuned in.
Once it started to get away from Georgia Tech, and once they continued to rotate him with two other backs, neither of whom were nearly as productive, I lost interest. So I didn't see a lot of the number 2 guy in the 41-10 Clemson win.
He was solid. I mean, just mechanically thought he did well, made a lot of good decisions. And I think the fact that they were throwing up 41-10 with him was kind of an audition.
Mm-hmm. Well, you'd like to think so, because otherwise you're just being a jerk. Yep.
Which Dabo's been known to do.
Yeah. So and clearly they've not been averse to going young.
That's right.
Ask Kelly Bryant.
Yeah. I mean, it can happen. And look, you had a year with DJU. Anyway,
yeah, DJU.
Didn't go so well. I mean, it went fine, but it wasn't to Clemson standards.
Well, it wasn't to Clemson standards, but
he also threw more interceptions than he threw touchdowns. You can't do that.
I was wondering, was he the difference? I mean, was he the reason they didn't max out?
I thought so. Just because I thought their offense was just almost non-existent. Against NC State, they were just putrid.
And they started slowly the other night.
So
that game was 14-10 at one point.
Right. I just feel like that's where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you've got a guy who's young and you can play for the future and you feel like he's as good, if not better, that's the guy you go with.
Mm-hmm.
Who am I? What do I know, though?
There you go.
So there's that. Anyway, we're going to take a short break. When we come back on Coach's Corner, we have Will Hester joining us. So please stick around here on Main Street Sports Day, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Be back after these messages.
This
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit customstonehandlers.com.
Jones and Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50 plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones and Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, zioneagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's zioneagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Tennessee, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net. Welcome back into Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint. Chris Yao, Mo Patton, coming to you from Columbia today, down here in southern Middle Tennessee. Glad to be with you and talking a little high school sports from across the mid-state as we go north to our neighbors and East Brentwood here on Coach's Corner.
East Brentwood.
Right? Presented by from the Heart Cafe out in Chapel Hill.
And it looks like someone had to step outside to get reception. So,
well, we've been there.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, before we go to Will Hester, though, of the Ravenwood Raptors, we need to give away some hardware, right?
Let's just go ahead and do that at the end of the segment. Got it? Just want to get to Will as quickly as possible. He's a little busy.
Oh, yeah, he's got some things on his mind. Yeah.
So, Coach, welcome in. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely, guys. Thanks for having me.
Hey, big week this week. Obviously, you guys have two-time defending state champion in Class 6A Oakland coming to East Brentwood tomorrow night. You're pretty familiar with them, obviously, having played them last year and having watched them for years. What's different about this Oakland team, first off?
They don't have the high recruited star power like they did last year with Jordan James and Isaiah Horton. But they're one heck of a team. I would say up front on both sides of the football, they're very physical, kind of reminiscent of what we saw out of an NBA team the first week of the season. But, I mean, they've won 33 games in a row. They're 45 or 46-1 since 2018, I believe. I mean, their only loss being, that one time to Maryville. So, obviously they're a confident bunch. They know how to play, and Coach Creasy and his staff do a wonderful job.
Is that the difference in this, in their program and other programs across the state, is the line play and how good they have been and are every time out up front, both offensively and defensively?
I mean, I think it makes a big difference. I mean, it's a completely different defense. Gallman's their defensive coordinator from last year. He's now the head coach at Gordonsville. In comes Coach Kent from Valdosta, and totally revamped the defense. This defense is probably one of the most aggressive that I've seen in my 24 years of coaching high school football. They're going to pressure, and more pressure on the offense, and they're going to put their DBs on the island from time to time, and they're going to have to step up and make plays. And if you look at their games, right, they've been, tackling guys for -5, then they may give up a 50-yard run, and then -5. They gave up 33 points to MRA out of Mississippi. So there are some plays to be had there against the defense. But can you do it enough to score more than they do, because they're averaging 50 a game themselves on offense? So they're definitely going to pressure you in all areas, whether it be you having to stop them or them coming after your quarterback.
That said, Will, they're going to pressure you. They're going to put their DBs on an island, that kind of thing. Does that play into the hands of a team that has a talented and experienced quarterback like a Chris Parson?
Well, he can't throw it and catch it, Mo. That's the tough part, right? So if those DBs are on an island, we've got to win at wide receiver in order to get open for Chris, for him to have somebody to throw and catch it. Those guys have worked really, really hard, and it's time for them to kind of rise to the top, right? Most teams in Middle Tennessee play soft coverage and allow you to throw the ball underneath and are worried about giving up the big play. This will be the first time out that we've seen somebody who's going to be really taking chances on every pass, and which entail does give you an opportunity to make some plays.
Speaking with Coach Will Hester of the Ravenwood Raptors here on Coach's Corner, presented by From the Heart Cafe in Chapel Hill. And obviously, Will, you're not going to give away much or any of your game plan, but it sounds like to me from high school football that I've seen that pressure defenses, draws, quarterback draws, shovel passes, that kind of thing can kind of be a bit of an antidote for that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, they've done a good job of playing the things that you think would give them trouble, whether it be the screens and things of that nature. The key for us is going to be trying to get a body on a body in pass protection. There are going to be times where they may bring more than we can protect. And if that's the case, then we got to get the ball out quickly. And then flip it around. They're going to run the wing tee one play, they're going to run the I formation the next play, and they may be in a spread shotgun formation the next play. So Coach Creasy has never met a play that he doesn't like, and he is likely to run all of them each and every week that he goes out there. So it's going to be a big chore on our defense getting lined up.
How difficult is that, when you're trying to prepare defensively for a team who you don't know what formation they may be in from play to play, like you said? How difficult is that?
I mean, it is difficult, but in the end, it gets back to you got to have a base scope of knowledge of your defense. We have what we call a base defense, and we've got to be able to play that against any scenario. It basically means we're playing like the same way we would play a triple option team. We got to make sure that we take care of our gaps, that we're sound, that we know who's got the dive, the quarterback, the pitch, and the threat of the home run pass. And we will go out and play this game just like we were playing a triple option team and be as sound as we possibly can be, and try not to let the kind of chaos and helter-skelter of them going back and forth from different types of offense to get us out of our game.
Obviously, it's a big deal when you are playing the two-time defending state champion and everything that Oakland brings to the table. But this is an opportunity, obviously, for your team to kind of show exactly where you are and how far you've got to go. Because, again, this game doesn't stop you from winning a region. It doesn't stop you from making the playoffs, and it doesn't stop you from seeing them again. So, this is an opportunity for your team to gain some confidence and gain some knowledge about where they stand.
Absolutely. I mean, it is one heck of an opportunity for our guys to showcase their talents on the biggest stage. It's going to be on TV. It's going to be a broadcast on the radio, all the things. And my exact point to our guys last night at the end of practice was, who remembers when Miles Pollard jumped onto the scene as a Ravenwood Raptor and as a recruit? And everybody remembers it was a big hit on TV against IMG. Mm-hmm. Same kind of situation, a high-level team coming in a non-region game that really has no playoff implications other than to show us where we are. Let's find out who the next Miles Pollard is. Let's find out who's going to be the next one to make a play. And I think our guys are hyped for the opportunity.
Sounds like you're advocating violence, Will.
That's the game we play, Mo.
Hey, tell me what you like about Chris Parson in year 2.
I mean, the same things I liked about him the day he walked on campus. Unbelievable leader. He has a bunch of young guys around him. He has 2 new starters at tackle this year. He has all 4 of the receivers that play for us are new starters. He's got a lot of guys that are inexperienced around him, and he has been able to not only lead them, but raise their level of play. And I think that's how you measure great ones. Who are the ones that make the team better just by them being out there? And, a lot of people would think we're going to just turn this into the Chris Parsons show and let Chris, rush for 1,000 yards and try to throw it every down and just scramble around. But that's not what Chris wants. Chris is a humble kid. He wants us to be the best football team we can be. In order to be that, we got to be balanced. We got to be able to run the ball and throw the ball. And he is super excited about trying to lead this team as far as we can take this thing in the playoffs. And it really has nothing to do with the accolades that he receives.
Coach Will Hester here on Coach's Corner, presented by From the Heart Cafe out in Chapel Hill. His Ravenwood Raptors will play host to Oakland on Friday night. Should be a lot of fun. We're looking forward to checking it out. You can find it on MyTV 30 and probably on WAKM if I had to guess, as well as WGNS out of Murfreesboro, probably. I mean, it's going to be, if you can't find it, you're not looking.
You're not looking. Yeah, this is appointment TV as it relates to high school football, I would think. 2 fantastic programs, 2 fantastic coaches, and 2 friends of our show. So
Absolutely.
We'll really appreciate you taking the time, man.
Yeah, a little bit about the helmet. So I heard y'all talking about the helmet before. So we wore that helmet that you have on the table in 2013. My first year at Ravenwood, we wore that helmet. We went black starting in 2014. And then they changed the logo. The bird head changed while I was in Alabama before I came back. So
Gotcha.
that's the history of the helmet y'all were talking about earlier.
We appreciate it because we were very curious.
We weren't sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks for filling in that gap for us, man.
Absolutely.
All right, Coach, we appreciate it. Have a good one.
All right, guys. See you.
That's Coach's Corner presented by From the Heart Cafe out in Chapel Hill, and that's Will Hester, who's always.
We need to at some point get him and Creasy on at the same time. That would,
absolutely be fun.
Yeah.
Before we get out of here, Mo, let's hand out some hardware, as you alluded to earlier. I felt bad for Coach. He had his phone, like he was holding his phone for like 10 minutes.
Did a heck of a job.
I know. Like my arm would be tired. I couldn't do it. Be like, okay, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's hand out some hardware as we get to the In to Win Life Team of the Week, Southern Middle Tennessee Team of the Week, presented by Custom Stone Handlers. And this week's goes to none other than Culleoka Girls Soccer.
The Lady Warriors 3-0 last week with wins over Huntland, Fayetteville, and Cornersville. Finally gave up a goal in that Cornersville game. They had thrown 5 consecutive shutouts to open the season. Oh, and this week they gave up 2 goals in a 2-2 draw with Fairview. So
the
defense is slumping a little bit all of a sudden. No, seriously, the Culleoka under Jeff Williams is playing some really good soccer right now. As we mentioned in the rundown, they travel to Zion Christian this evening. Should be a pretty good one.
Yeah, Zion Christian, who has been really good all year as well.
Well, and they each have scoring aces, I guess. Sophie Williams, the sophomore striker for Culleoka, who was our MTBJ Athlete of the Week 2 weeks ago. Ava Corbin had 5 goals in.
Also a sophomore, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I think she's
because she was an 8th grader a couple of years ago when she was scoring at will, it seemed like.
My goodness.
But, yeah, she had 5 goals in Zion's 9-6 win over Richland earlier this week. So could get interesting.
It could.
On the pitch tonight.
Yep, outscored opponents 9-1 last week. So there you go.
It's not bad.
And our Southern Middle Tennessee Player of the Week is also the Main Street Preps Player of the Week, fan voted. 28% of the fan votes went to this young man. You saw him last week. I saw him 2 weeks ago, and he's been fantastic all year long.
He has. Darian Mesa, the junior receiver cornerback for Mount Pleasant, had his hands all over that 20-13 comeback victory last week over at Cascade to start Regions 5 2A play. Mount Pleasant's down 13-0 at the half. They score to get it within a touchdown, and then Nick Brown and Mesa hit on a couple of big balls, one for 64, one for 57 yards. And then on Cascade's final possession, Mesa gets an interception inside the 5-yard line to choke off the potential game-tying touchdown drive there. So finished with 3 catches for 120 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 tackles, and the pick. So heck of a game for Mr. Mesa.
That's right. The Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint Southern Middle Tennessee Player of the Week or Athlete of the Week.
Athlete of the Week.
And there you have it. That's the hardware. When we come back, we will give you some thoughts on the National Football League as we kick off tonight. I'm excited about that. I mean, like I said, it's NFL football time, and I don't watch a lot of it, but I do like Thursday nights because that's the only time I get a chance to watch it there. So y'all stick around. We'll be right back on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint after this. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50-plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Tennessee. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the TSSAA.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Maury County schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net. Welcome back in. Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. We literally go, Mo, from preps to pros.
There we go.
That's what we do here on Main Street Sports Today, bringing you sports talk from every angle and every level. And if we don't know it, we know somebody who does.
And I was thinking about this for some unrelated reason earlier today. I'm not going to speak for you. I don't know everything. But
No.
I think we do as good a job as anybody of getting people who do know
About whatever it is we want to talk about.
Yeah. So, it's okay to not know.
It's okay. Just say that. It's matter of fact. Justin, what did you learn this morning?
Mm-mm.
Which one? I learned a lot whenever we do our shows together.
The ampersand. He didn't know that was the name of the symbol.
Yeah.
Today is National World Ampersand Day. It's not just national. It's World Ampersand Day. Did you know, Mo, that the ampersand has a tagline?
I did not.
Yes,
it's actually inspirational.
it's incredible, and
go out there and get it.
I legitimately, like, off the top of my head, can't remember what the second word in it is, but I know it's fun. Hold on, fun, fabulous, and functional.
you know, what you think about whenever you're trying to use an alternative to and.
It's fabulous.
Fun, fabulous, and functional. I like it. I tell you though, I don't know if they were still teaching cursive when you were in school.
Oh yeah,
but the ampersand is kind of like a backwards capital S.
Well, so that's what. So it's actually, we found out that ampersand stands for any form of and that's not A and D.
Oh,
right. Like
so
it stands for
sign could be an ampersand as well. So
okay, let's see if this may or may not be the. Yep, this is it. Hold on.
We'll
show you here. Oh, my bad.
You got it.
That is the ampersand that they used.
They had a rebranding meeting or something. I don't know what.
So Justin said it looks like kind of like a sword, and I thought my first thought was Guillermo Heredia.
And it's every continent. Look, it's like all over the world.
It's World Ampersand Day.
Ampersand Day. That's amazing. that is amazing. So how do you celebrate World Ampersand Day?
I guess, today is a day. Normally you don't use the ampersand. You certainly don't in our world.
No.
But today maybe you do.
Oh, that's the wrong one.
This
I'm taking over. I am the captain.
I'm the captain. Look at me. Oh goodness, this would have been a great halftime.
Oh well, it is. It's okay. Well, we're going to get right into our NFL picks now.
Oh goodness.
As Justin's,
they'll be fun.
They won't be.
I don't think they'll be very functional.
No.
So is it we're picking each week?
No.
Right now.
No, we're just picking our division winners. Yeah.
Preseason, division winner, Super Bowl winner, and MVP.
Oh goodness. Okay.
Oh, based off the preseason. Gotcha. Okay.
So here we go. This is we are prognosticating. Mo forgot his turban today, but that's okay.
I didn't forget it. I didn't know I needed it.
I want to start by
some people who are directing the show just decide to just spring things on you.
Hey man, all you do is look at the run the show and say, "Oh, I need my turban today. I didn't know," or say, "Hey Chris, what the hell are you thinking?"
Yeah, that would probably be
more accurate.
Yeah,
I want to start my camera, but I don't want to take over y'all's spot here. So I'm.
No, you're good. Can't make it. There you go. That's perfect. There we go. All right, so we'll start in the National Football Conference in the NFC East, the toughest division to call because
they all are awful.
They all stink.
Yeah, I had to censor myself right there. But yeah. Goodness gracious.
We will start in the NFC East, and I will tell you, I think it's going to be Philadelphia. I think Jalen Hurts is going to take an extra step with the addition of A.J. Brown. I think their defense is a little bit better, and those are the only two names on their team that I know. So, yeah. Fly Eagles.
I think it has to be Philadelphia just for the fact that the Giants are awful. I think the Eagles are the least awful of the four.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Can I show you who I think is a better wide receiver than A.J. Brown?
Oh, gosh. Man. Is that Mickey Mouse?
This is Mickey Mouse with a football.
Can you do your oh boy? We didn't hear it on our show.
Yeah, here we go. Ready? Oh boy.
It's pretty good.
Wow. Not an AJ fan, huh?
I'm just, it's not that I don't like him. It's just that everything he embodies, I just don't agree with.
I don't like him. I don't like him as a person. I just, I think he's just a terrible human being.
No, I'm just super sad he's gone. And, so I can't pick the Eagles. So I'm going to have to go with the Commanders.
This guy.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's how it goes.
Yeah. Got to pick somebody. Where are you going?
They got Carson Wentz, guys.
Oh, yeah. Well, that worked out so well for the Colts last year. NFC North, this should be the easiest pick. Packers?
Yeah, I think it's much as I hate it. Yeah, I think it's got to be the Packers. I mean, if I picked anybody else, I probably couldn't go home. But the fact of the matter is,
right.
I'm not a huge A-Rod fan. So, but
I don't know why I'm not, but I agree with you, Mo. I don't know. I don't think I am a big Aaron Rodgers fan, even though he's ridiculously talented.
He is
But
the best. He is the best quarterback in the National Football League that plays in the regular season.
I think it might be the hair when he started getting that greasy long hair. I just was not a fan.
There's a lot of things, yeah, but yeah, and
his mouth being one of them.
But he gets it done, man.
On the football field, he's not bad. NFC South. I think this is a tough one too, but to me, as long as Jameis Winston stays healthy, I think the Saints win this thing.
I would like to pick the Saints just because I would like to not pick Tom Brady. But
exactly.
I can't pick against that guy.
I don't know.
You're going Tom?
Yeah, I'm going Bucks. I mean, again, I'd love to go elsewhere, but
no one's going to show my boy.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just going to say, no one's going to show any love to my boy Baker Mayfield.
No,
none, unless you are.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to, feel free. But no, I would go Bucks, and if not Bucks, Saints. But
I'm going to go. I thought pretty hard about this one. Obviously I had to put my Mariota feelings aside, just to make sure I had a solid pick. But the Saints did acquire Tyrann Mathieu, so that defense could be scary. On top of, like you said, Jameis Winston seems like he's starting to kind of take command of that team. I mean, I at least the Saints will.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
they've got plenty. I just
cause a problem.
Brady's a problem. I agree.
Yeah,
it's hard to pick against him, but I'm gonna because
there you go.
I don't like him.
Good for you.
NFC West. Get the Rams tonight. Get a chance to see. Be the 49ers, Cardinals, Rams, or Seahawks.
That's a tough division.
Seahawks, right?
No, I don't think it's the Seahawks. I don't think it's any team that is considering starting Drew Lock at quarterback.
I was about to say, who's the quarterback? Us?
we could probably
couldn't be any worse. Yeah. We could turn and hand it off.
As Brian Kelly said, we couldn't play any worse. Well, maybe we could. I don't It's my first game. I don't know.
Yeah. Famous last words right there. I'd like to give the Cardinals more of a chance, but no, I don't think so. I think it's the Rams and everybody else out there.
The 49ers had to either lose or the Rams had to win in week 18 last year. So I think the 49ers are close.
I think they're close, and they're probably closer now with Trey Lance at quarterback. But the Rams have got a lot, man, and it's tough to pick against the defending Super Bowl champions.
It's not hard to pick against the defending Super Bowl champions because defending Super Bowl champions outside of the teams that Tom Brady have played for have not been great in the next year. So I'm going to go 49ers with that.
Okay.
I think so. I mean, I agree with you. I think the Rams are separated as far as a lot of other teams, but the chink in the armor that I saw when they played the Titans on that primetime last year. I mean, they look cool. And as far as 49ers go, it's a weird dynamic, I would assume, from management to Garoppolo, but that whole team loves Garoppolo. Is he still a 49ers, correct?
Yeah, he's still there. He's QB too.
So I think as long as he's there and you kind of have that in your back pocket to be able to throw touchdowns when you need it, and like you said, Mo, Trey Lance is developing. It could be a toss up.
I think,
like I said,
that's where I think they're going to run into an issue. Is Trey Lance going to be looking over his shoulder all year long, waiting for somebody to throw Garoppolo in, and he's not going to play up to his potential because he's not just going out there and being Trey Lance.
Well, he could do the Alex Smith, Pat Mahomes thing where where he could just okay, wait, if Garoppolo's going in, it's probably for a good reason. It's probably better for the team. I'm just going to sit back and be a sponge, absorb it, and then next year I'm going to ball.
Well, that's and that worked for Pat.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo is Alex Smith either.
That's true.
I have a very high opinion of Alex Smith as a National Football League quarterback.
Oh, me too.
I think he is vastly underrated in the last 20 years in the hierarchy of NFL quarterbacks. But
I agree with you. No, genuinely, Alex, he made the Pro Bowl the year, and then he got cut the next year.
How do you make the Pro Bowl and get cut? It's the wildest thing. Anyway,
Patrick Mahomes.
well, there's that. Yeah, just unfortunate situation that he's found himself in. AFC
Exactly.
East, it's the Bills and everybody else, right?
Yeah. I mean, they were the favorite to start with, and then they add Von Miller.
Oh, I forgot about Von Miller.
Yeah.
He's a problem.
He is a problem.
I
He's
wouldn't
no
sleep
longer a problem for the Rams, though.
That's true. That's true, which is relieving.
Well, yes, he will definitely be a different problem for the Rams tonight. But it's definitely the Bills.
Well, what do we think about Tyreek Hill has on Twitter, on social media every chance he gets, it seems like, been bragging on Tua's ability and how he's progressed and how their chemistry has progressed. Are we worried about the Dolphins at all?
I mean, I think we're worried about the Dolphins. I mean, they're the second best team in that conference, I think, but they're the second best team in my opinion.
I got you. That makes sense.
I worry about Miami's defense more than I do their offense. I mean, obviously Tua's got to produce, but I don't. Their defense is where I struggle. But they played really well in the preseason, so we'll see.
For whatever that's worth.
Yeah, I mean,
it's worth everything. I'm definitely one
they
of those
had
people.
the second highest point differential in the preseason, plus 38, behind only the Raiders, plus 41. I know it's preseason, but defensively, that makes you feel better because typically you see more first team defense guys
than you do
first team offense guys. So.
Right.
Just a devil's advocate. The year that the Lions went 0-16, they went 4-0 in preseason.
That's right. They sure did. I remember that.
So there you go.
Exhibit
A. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Yeah.
AFC North, Ravens, Steelers, Browns, Bengals. I've got to go with the Ravens. I know the Bengals. I get it, but I'm going with the Ravens.
I'm just afraid that Joe's going to get hurt, man.
If that offensive line didn't get any better, he may very well get hurt.
I mean, that dude was hitting the ground like way too much.
The offensive line did get well. They got different players. I don't know if they got any better, but they did make some changes.
Theoretically,
they got.
They hope they got better.
but I'm going to go with the Ravens because I think Lamar Jackson just gives them too much.
Well, and I think Lamar Jackson and the Ravens are going to really be motivated this time around because so many people are looking at the Bengals.
Definitely.
And offensively, I think Cincinnati's going to be a problem.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. For sure. They're very good.
Especially if that line is any better.
Yeah, if they give them just like even a 0.5 second head start, like they'll be astronomically better. And to your point about the Ravens, I think every year, well, I don't think I know, and it's proven in the stats, Lamar's working on that arm, and I couldn't imagine having to be a defensive coordinator to have to game plan for this guy that can literally skate on the field. Oh, wait, he can also throw a 60-yard bomb down the field now? That's not good.
It's like a Mike Vick light.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
exactly.
He's not as good as Michael Vick.
No,
he is certainly the same problem that Michael Vick presented.
And he could be on the way to becoming the problem, if he keeps progressing like he has.
He's really, really good.
And I tell you,
this guy won the MVP 2 years ago.
I think the biggest key to Lamar Jackson is he plays for a quarterback who's plays for a coach who's willing to let him be him.
Which is really weird. His last name. They could not be any different if that's brothers, could they?
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about definitely.
He does. I just think he's done a great job at not coaching Lamar's instincts out of him.
Sure.
Very good point. Very good point.
All right, we go to the AFC West. We're skipping the South. That'll be the last one. AFC West, Raiders, Broncos, Chiefs, Chargers. Does Russell Wilson make that much of a difference, or is it the Chiefs and everybody else?
Man,
I think that division
is this toughest division.
Well, when you look at the quarterbacks in that division, again, you're talking about Russell Wilson, you're talking about Derek Carr, you're talking about Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert. I mean,
this is the toughest division.
There is not a step back at quarterback with any of those four teams, I don't think.
Right.
I think again, Mahomes. I think Mahomes is going to be driven. I think Andy Reid is going to be driven to show some folks that we can lose a Tyreek Hill and still produce at a high level. I still think it's the Chiefs and everybody else out there.
I think, and I watched something not too long ago about it was kind of a Derek Carr where he's been at and how his game has progressed and how now compared to previous years, you see him on the sidelines and he's talking to players a lot more, like a lot differently. Like he's more leader. Even the players have said this. He wants to win more than he's ever wanted to win. And they were talking about a game specifically where he went like 31 for 34, like 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. So I think he's the dark horse in this whole thing. If he plays games like that, how do you beat that?
He stole
Especially
my
with Devontae Adams.
He stole my thunder. I'm going with the Raiders.
Yeah, that's my dark horse, man. I really think they got a lot of weapons.
I'm just not sure that there is a bad pick.
There's not.
Anybody
can win it.
And you can justify any of those picks. I mean, again, and I've used it a lot in this segment, I think, but I think when everybody is so good from a physical standpoint in the NFL, that mental, that emotional thing, I think kind of means a little bit more. I think Russell Wilson is going to be motivated to prove to some folks, hey, I can still play.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But I still think it's the Chiefs and everybody else.
And finally, the AFC South. Texans, Titans, Colts, Jaguars.
Y'all go ahead.
It's the Colts, right? that's how this works. You get here, you sports talk show, it's the Colts.
Yeah, sure, it's the Colts. Yeah.
If you are a sports talk host, you're picking the Colts. That's how this works.
Can I ask why Matt Ryan gets traded to the Colts and all of a sudden he is Johnny Unitas?
Well, he was.
Matt Ryan is not bad.
Yeah, Matt Ryan is good.
Not bad.
Matt Ryan is not the reason the Atlanta Falcons did not get it done any more than they did. Matt Ryan, as a Titans fan, Matt Ryan scares me.
I agree.
Oh, I agree. I think he's good. Like you said, I don't think he's the reason why the Atlanta Falcons were bad, but I do not think he will be the sole reason why the Indianapolis Colts would win a Super Bowl.
I agree.
Obviously, Jonathan Taylor, he's amazing, but I just
have a wide receiver.
T.Y. Hilton sometimes.
And a quarterback is only as good as the guys he's throwing to, unless you're Aaron Rodgers. There you go. And he would know.
So,
right.
To me, even without Harold Landry, obviously we know about Harold Landry's ACL, but this Titans defense is going to be really good as last year, if not better. Obviously, Derrick Henry's coming back. It's the Titans.
I would love. Or go ahead.
No, again, I think Derrick Henry has something to prove because I think he sat and he watched the national media fawn all over Jonathan Taylor, and he's seen folks pick Jonathan Taylor as the MVP of the 2022 season and that kind of thing. And again, I think there's going to be I'm still 6'3", 2 whatever, and I can still play. And I still got this stiff arm over here. And I ain't afraid to use it.
One of my favorite things about Derrick Henry is, and this is a really fast story, but they were they're playing a highlight to where he was almost like he ran like a 60-yard run, but he stumbled before he hit the end zone, and he got up and he was upset, just PO'd. and they were asking about it. I was like, man, I bet you were mad because you didn't make it to the end zone. And he was like, no, I wasn't mad about that. My teammate threw a block and it was perfect, and then I tripped. Like, he wanted to score the touchdown because his teammate.
It's probably AJ Brown, if I had to guess.
Don't you say that name. I'm just kidding.
It's probably AJ Brown.
Yeah.
But yeah, such a team player.
Block was probably 11.
Right, that's true.
I love Derrick Henry. I think he's got a lot to prove. Super Bowl participants.
Is that
pick the winner? Just pick the participants.
Participants.
Okay. Ooh, that's a tough one.
Chiefs Rams.
Okay. I'm gonna go. Tell her I said hello, but I got the Packers. I think they get back this year, and unfortunately, as much as I hate to say it, I think the Buffalo Bills will be there.
I think the Buffalo Bills every single year until right before the season starts. I'm gonna go Titans Packers.
Ooh,
that would be.
Ooh.
That would be bad news for Mo.
Oh, goodness gracious.
That would be real bad news for Mo.
Why is that?
His girlfriend's a Packers fan from Wisconsin.
I'm not sure I could deal with that at all. Yeah.
Especially if
I'm going to opt out of this one.
Yeah. That wouldn't be pretty.
Tonight, Bills at Rams, 7:20 p.m. on NBC. Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth on the call. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, so this one's actually on network TV.
I didn't think it was going to be on Prime. I think it is going to be on Prime, but I think it's on network TV too.
You know, I got to figure out if I've got Amazon Prime. Of course, as long as we got high school football games on Thursday night, it's not going to matter anyway because I ain't going to be there. But I had kind of written off NFL Thursday night. I don't know what I get and what I don't. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Finally, Justin, before you go, MVP.
Yes. Ooh, MVP.
Derrick Henry.
That's absolutely think it's gonna be Derrick.
Can you be MVP and comeback player of the year?
Yes. If you are MVP in a comeback year, you have to be comeback player of the year, right?
Yeah,
you can't not win that award.
I think he's going to be both.
I do too.
I think he's going to. Well, this would depend on what kind of offensive line play you get. He's easily. Well, it's a 17-game schedule now. 1,500 yards isn't that big a deal, I don't guess.
We'll see.
Yeah, did they take that into account now that there's one more game in the regular season? They don't. Okay, gotcha.
I was going to say he's going to be close to 2,000 again.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But I mean, you got questions up front, though.
I don't know. I think this offensive line is going to end up being really good. I mean, Nate Davis at guard. I mean, the right tackle position is iffy, but I don't think it's that iffy.
Right. So
that's true.
We're going with Derrick Henry as our MVP. What about you?
I'm going to go just because I've noticed that, which I think they should have a separate MVP award for non-quarterbacks because only quarterbacks get MVPs. So I'm going to go with my boy Tanny because he's going to be dealing. He's going to be dealing this year.
I think he could be as good this year as he was 2 years ago.
Yep. Because
people are sleeping on him a little bit like they were 2 years ago, and he's got Henry in the backfield.
Yep. And the hype's not on all around him like it was, last year when they played the Cardinals and everybody got so disappointed that I never wanted to watch football again.
There's that. All right. We are going to take a quick break, very fast break here, and come back, talk a little bit about the Braves, and then we'll get into some high school pick'em right here on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Y'all stick around.
This is attorney Bart Durham, and this is me. I'm Aaliyah. Keeping in good physical condition is really important to me. But when I had a wreck with a tractor-trailer truck that hurt my legs so bad I couldn't work for almost a year, I knew I needed a lawyer that understood tractor-trailer cases. So I called Bart. Bart gets millions of dollars for his clients every year.
At Bar Durham Injury Law, we've handled hundreds of tractor-trailer cases.
My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Yao, Mo Patton coming to you from Columbia. Glad to be with you. Glad you're here. Talk a little Atlanta Braves as our daily Atlanta Braves segment, which is quite quickly coming closer and closer to an end.
We got another
month and a half
plus,
ish. So
almost 2 months.
Close.
And the World Series went into November last year.
Right, so let's talk about that.
Yeah.
But here we go. Braves win their 7th straight.
In comeback fashion.
Yeah, tough first inning for Spencer Strider, but ends up with what, 9 strike? Was it 6 or 9? I can't remember. I think
whatever was wrong, he figured out.
I was going to say whatever happened when he got back into the let's see here, 9 strikeouts yesterday. Okay. 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 6 innings pitched, 9 Ks, which makes him 15 away. No, 17 away.
Mm-hmm. He's got 183.
17 away from 200 on the year.
I didn't realize he led the Braves in strikeouts.
Well, they got a couple of folks with a lot of them. So, again, 7th win in a row. Obviously lost a half game technically because the
Mets
played 2.
Mm-hmm.
But, to be honest with you, it was important for the Braves to go and beat the A's like they were supposed to beat the A's.
Sure. I mean, we've talked all year about them beating the teams they're supposed to beat. Miami, Washington, Boston when they went on that run a few weeks ago. Teams that they are decidedly better than. That's who they need to do that to. Pittsburgh when they were up there last week, because with the deficit that they put themselves in, they have to take advantage of every subpar team to, get back in and stay in this NL East race. And, a couple of folks have said, what are you worried about? You're going to make the postseason. Well, I'm not playing for wild cards.
No. Especially now that the wild card is a play in, basically.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. Back in the day, probably wouldn't have cared. You're like, all right, we got a wild card.
Just get in and yeah.
But now with the extra, you saw how it affected the Dodgers last year.
And this Braves team can beat anybody in a playoff situation, but I don't think you want to see the Dodgers any sooner than you have to.
Absolutely not.
Now they're a little wounded. Again, Walker Buehler's out. Again, Clayton Kershaw is old.
Playoff Kershaw is still bad.
Playoff Kershaw, yes. So but still, they won 90 plus already.
Oh yeah, they're going to win 105, 108
at least. More. Yeah. So I don't think you want to play that team any sooner than you have to, and you're going to see them sooner if you are the number 4 than if you are the number 2.
That's correct.
Now, ideally, you just seed 1 through 6 once you determine, but at the same time, I think there has to be. I think winning your division has to mean something.
I agree.
So
we only think winning your division doesn't mean anything if the Braves
if
don't
we're
win
the wild
division.
card. Yeah, exactly.
That's
exactly.
just full disclosure. That's how we feel.
But no, I seriously. And again, I don't think there's any reason to concede the NL East.
Not yet. Max Scherzer's on the DL. Or IL or whatever it's called.
Injured list.
Yeah. He's on the IL. You've got the Braves playing a
Starling Marte is out for the Mets.
Marte that's a scary situation. He wasn't even able to grip a baseball after being hit in the head. So that's a really scary situation for a guy that I really like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though he's a Met. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those deals where I want them to be at full strength because I don't want them to have any excuses when the Braves beat them. But they're certainly more beatable with Scherzer sidelined.
Yeah, without Scherzer and Marte, I feel better.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the Mariners are pretty decent. The Giants, not so much. So you feel like if you have these next 6 games
split,
if you win
win 4 of 6,
you win 4 of 6, you're feeling really good because you're still within 3 games of the Mets. Then you've got NL East play the rest of the way, and let's face it, the NL East outside of the Braves and Mets just not very good.
Not very good at all. Yeah, after you get back from that 3-game set in San Francisco, next week you got Philly for 3, Washington for 3, then you go to Philly for 3, Washington for 3, then you've got the Mets at home for 3, and then you finish up with 3 at Miami. So it's gonna all be right there, and it's all gonna sit on
you just gotta win
that
4.
final stretch. Yeah. So
just win 4. That's the key.
Tomorrow night's game, by the way, is on Apple TV for whatever that's worth.
Is it going to be free like the last one was? Because the last Apple TV game was free.
Was it?
It's not going to. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I'm not going to be watching it because I'll be at whatever football game I'm at tomorrow.
Where are
Columbia,
you tomorrow?
And
yeah, you're at Lindsey Nelson for Green
Nelson,
Hill and Columbia Central.
Yeah. So, there you go. All right.
Stop by, say hi.
Yes,
Chris will be there.
Do. Tell us what happened this damn Braves history, man.
September 8th, 1981, in a case of fans behaving badly, Houston first baseman Cesar Cedeno went after a fan at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium during the Astros 3-2 loss. Witnesses said 3 men sitting field level had been harassing Cedeno's wife and making remarks about a 1973 incident in the Dominican Republic in which Cedeno was convicted of involuntary manslaughter following the accidental shooting of a young woman. Cedeno was later fined $5,000, but not suspended for the in-game episode. Meanwhile, on the field, Chris Chambliss hit a 2-run walk-off double in the 9th after Bruce Benedict's solo home run in the 8th set up the comeback victory. Braves 3, Astros 2, Cesar Cedeno in a mini Malice at the Palace.
I was trying to come up with, but I couldn't. There's nothing rhymes with Launchpad. Like literally nothing, whether it's a fight, it's a synonym or not. It's just there's nothing that rhymes with launch pad. So.
No, you were just stuck.
I was working hard too.
Yeah.
I want you to know I was really trying over here.
I'm sure.
Nothing there. I'll be honest with you. I'm really not mad at Cesar Cedeno.
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, there are lines.
Yeah, and that's one of them. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here on the field while you're giving my wife a hard time in the stands, and I can see it.
Yeah, not happening.
Yeah,
sorry.
so.
Yeah, I ain't mad at the man at all.
And apparently, neither was the National League since they only fined him $5,000.
Well, in -- how much is that? But yeah,
could have been worse. So
it could have been, and no suspension. So they were like, "Yeah, we get it." Yeah. That's this day in Braves history. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, high school football pick'em coming your way here on Main Street Sports Today. Tennessee Bone and Joint. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones and Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50 plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones and Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Tennessee. Because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Maury County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net. A little high school football pick'em. High school football tonight. We told you about games that will be taking place this evening, so make sure to check out mainstreetpreps.com for full coverage of many of those games, if not all of them. I don't know. Yeah, a bunch of games will be covered tonight for sure. Mo, you'll be at Independence, yes?
I will be at Independence.
It's going to be a good game.
Looking forward to that one. Have not had a chance to see Kenny Minchie.
Or Cody Pagano. Have you ever seen Ty Lockwood play?
I think I saw him last year.
He didn't play much last year if you saw him.
Yeah. He finally got back on the field last week, had a couple of catches in that 2-day Centennial game. So
it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fun. We'll get to it in a second, I guess.
We will, in fact. So let's dive right in. We talked about it earlier. Ravenwood, Oakland, Friday at 7, My TV 30.
Friday night rivals.
Friday night rivals. Are they rivals? Well, they are tonight, or this Friday anyway.
Sure. Yeah. I just think for all the reasons that Will Hester mentioned, I think Oakland's going to be tough to handle in this one. I think Oakland wins it. I think it's less than a touchdown, but I think Oakland wins it. I've got it 26-23.
I've got it a touchdown game, 38-31, Oakland. And you're right. I mean, it's just so hard to stop them.
Because they do so much, and they do it all well offensively.
I mean, it doesn't matter what they line up in. They're going to be good at it.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane. It really is. So, Father Ryan at Cane Ridge.
And I believe this game has been moved to Thursday night. I think it was an original Friday night game, but it is now tonight.
I have no idea when it was supposed to be, but
Yeah.
it is tonight, and it's at Cane Ridge. So I went with Father Ryan here. I think Father Ryan is going to once again be the beneficiary of a missed extra point or field goal. I got him 21-20. I think that defense is just really good. Now, Cane Ridge's offense is also really good, so I think this is going to be a really good football game.
Cane Ridge's offense is really good, and I think that's the difference here. I've got Cane Ridge, and I've got Father Ryan missing an extra point. So I've got Ravens 35-27. So
Green Hill at Columbia Central. I'll be there. Should be a lot of fun tomorrow night at Lindsey Nelson Stadium here in Columbia. In this one, I mean, I really still don't know what to think about Green Hill. I think week one kind of threw me for such a loop, and then they've not played anybody that I feel like should be on their level. So I just don't know where they really are. That being said, I know where Columbia Central is, and I think they're very good. So Green Hill Hawks 27, Columbia Central 16.
I've got Green Hill 31, Columbia Central 20. Since that loss to Siegel, what was it, 13-6, 13-7, something like that, they've come back and they've shut out both Kenwood and Wilson Central. Now, again, I don't know that we know how good either Kenwood or Wilson Central is, so we don't necessarily know how good Green Hill is. But
they
I also know we fell into that trap last year.
We did.
And fool me once. You know, I think Josh Crouch does a really good job up there. I think they've got some talented players that know their roles and play them well. And I just like the Hawks in this one. I think Columbia Central hasn't figured out who they are yet. And last week's loss down at Franklin County, that was tough. They were down 28-0 at one point in that ball game.
And
at the same time had an opportunity to tie it.
Yeah.
Before losing 34-21. So
and that last touchdown was on a scoop and score going in Franklin County territory to tie the game. I mean, it was a touchdown game. Right there. And so, 13-point swing, and here you are. Old Geezer says, "What's up, Mo?" I don't know who Old Geezer is, but I like it.
is either. But yeah, what's up, Old Geezer? Yeah,
I like the name though.
Identify yourself. Yeah.
Will the real Old Geezer please stand up?
Please stand up. Please stand up.
Going to East Nasty, Hillsboro, East Nashville. This is Burroughs, Eagles.
This should be fun, man. Yeah.
It doesn't get much better than this in Metro.
No, I don't think it does. And I think it's going to be a nail biter right down to the end with this one. I've got the Eagles when it's all said and done. But I think this Hillsboro team is capable of pulling off the upset, and I think it would be an upset. But I've got the Eagles here, 20-13.
I think you're right. I think it would be an upset if Hillsboro was able to pull this one off. I've got East Nashville 33-20 in this one. I really don't think they're going to make a lot of extra points these days. I don't trust high school kickers in the rain. Shh. It's definitely going to rain tomorrow. Absolutely 100% going to rain. I promise you. If it's going to rain. Bet money.
Grace Christian goes to Friendship Christian.
I got burned.
That's a 7:30 game tomorrow night, by the way.
Friendship has played at 7:30 twice now.
I think they play their games at 7:30.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Used to be back in the day, everybody played at 7:30.
Yeah. And then folks got tired of
getting home at midnight. They were like, "Can we move this up a half hour just to see what happens?"
Yeah, but
I got fooled by Friendship Christian once already and picked DCA. It ain't happening again. And Grace Christian's good. Don't get me wrong.
They've got a quarterback, Jackson Hyatt, who is playing some pretty good ball right now. I think Friendship Christian's depth will be a factor in this one at some point, and that's why I've got it a 10-point game. 17 actually, 38-21. I misread.
40-31 in favor of Friendship Christian. So Commanders, right?
They are.
It's unusual for a private Christian school to be anything other than Eagles, Lions, Saints, etc. So Commanders, I like Commanders because commandments, I like it. That's good,
and it's kind of strong.
Better than the Shoals Christian Flame. That one seems a little weird to me.
Flame singular?
Yes, one flame.
One flame. Okay,
because they're on fire for God. But the problem is the other thought process of flames. So it's almost anyway.
Maybe they didn't think that all the way through.
I was just curious.
Ditto for Liberty.
Same, right?
Yeah. Interesting.
Pope Prep at Independence talked about it just a minute ago. Kenny Minchie, Cody Bagosh, Ty Lockwood for Independence.
He's got a boatload of receivers to throw it to, and he's really spreading it around.
And he can spread it.
And I think that's part of what makes him so dangerous. He threw for 5 touchdowns last week. Who did they beat last week? Oh, Father Ryan.
Oh,
no. Pope Prep beat Father Ryan last week. He threw for 5 touchdowns. They were to 3 different receivers. And also, if you think or pay too much attention to Minchie, they've got a running back, Elijah Robb, who ran for 145 and a couple of touchdowns in that Ryan win. So I've got Pope Prep 38-28.
The story.
I am excited to see Trey Hartwell though.
The story within the story. Kenny Minchie's going where?
Pitt.
Who else holds an offer from Pitt? Cody Pagosh. Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting. Did not know that. That is the story within the story. Wonder if Pitt's coaches will be there.
If they were playing in Knoxville this weekend, they probably would.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they probably won't,
not.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
But it is Thursday, so you never know. They could probably fly in, fly out. In this one, I think Pope Prep gets it done, but I think it's going to be as good of a football game as you could ask to see. Tullahoma at Marshall County over here in our neck of the woods.
Kind of, sort of.
I mean, just east of us here, across the highway, the freeway, or what else do they call it in California? They don't call it an interstate there.
No, they don't. It's pretty much a freeway.
Yeah, 65. There you go.
Yeah,
right across the 65 is Marshall County, and they welcome the City Cats from Tullahoma.
Finally got it right.
We did.
You saw Marshall County in week 1, and the left-handed quarterback Silas Teat is
the former Oakland Patriot.
Went into the transfer portal, huh?
Pretty sure this is his 3rd school in 3 years.
Oh, okay. Well,
but Coach,
they're showing him some love.
Coach Creasy was there and was talked very highly of the kid. So,
interesting. That was a Friday night game, right?
Thursday. Yeah. Oh no, it wasn't Friday because Oakland played on Thursday.
That's right. They played Hendersonville on Thursday. Yeah. So he was over there checking out Sharp, who he played for. That's right. And he was also checking out his former quarterback. Yeah. Well, Marshall County has gotten off to a pretty good start. They're 3-0, right?
I'm not sure. Maybe.
They beat somebody in week 2. I can't remember who. Oh, Creekwood. Maybe.
That's right. It was. That Creekwood was maybe last week, but that was a really good football game.
Yeah. Yeah, that may have been last week in their region opener. I don't remember. But
their region has 9 teams in it, so they probably played in week 2.
I can't remember who they played last week, though. 2 weeks ago, week 2.
Shelbyville.
Oh, yeah, and they won that one big, right? 36-14, yeah.
It was 17-14 against Creekwood last week.
I like Marshall County in this one. I think Tullahoma lost a pretty good bit off of that state championship team, and, including their head coach. And I just think it's kind of taken them some time to get back into the swing of things. But I do imagine Jackson Sheffield will play a role in this ball game as, the leading man in Tullahoma's run game. So, but I've got Marshall County 35-24.
Well, if you're into comparing scores of common opponents, Marshall County beat Shelbyville 36-14, while Tullahoma won just 16-7. Obviously, coming off Coffee Pot loss last week, 35-14 to Coffee County. Tullahoma's not happy. That's not something that they're going to do very often. And look, Marshall County's defense they're not bad, but this is a game that you're going to see some offense in from both teams, because Marshall County's offense is really good. So I've got Tullahoma squeaking this one out 34-28. I think it's an upset. And but that's what I got. I got the Wildcats in this one.
I think it is an upset. So we'll see how that one goes.
Tonight, CPA at MBA. Do they got just one side of bleachers at MBA? I know they do it BA, but they got 2?
Yeah, they've got 2.
I don't know why I was thinking they only had 1, but anyway, at NBA tonight, if you're not doing anything else, go. Be worth it, I promise.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Big Red in this one coming out on top by a field goal, 31-28. Obviously, maybe last week it took a little bit for Ingle Martin to kind of get back into the swing of things after his 13-day trip
after his bucket list trip to Williamsport.
Yeah. I think the Lions will be right back in this one. But after what NBA did last week, you can't pick against them.
Yeah, between what they did last week and what they did to open the season against Ravenwood, I mean, this may be one of the better NBA teams that you've run across in a while, and they've had some good ones. I like NBA. I think CPA makes it close, though. I like NBA by a field goal as well. So,
White House at Portland. White House at Portland. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know. I
don't know a whole lot about either of these teams, but I do know White House traditionally has been tough and has been a factor in, I think it's Region 6-3A, which also includes Waverly and Fairview. So I've got White House in this one by about a touchdown.
I think I went I know I went Portland, but I think the reason I went with Portland may have been based off of the last couple of seasons. I'm not sure. I know that, let's see, last year they lost to White House 55-40, so I'm not sure. But I went with Portland in this one, 24-21. Got no reason why or why not. Go Panthers.
It happens.
Gallatin at Station Camp.
I like Gallatin. They kind of got me against Blackman. Was that last week or the week before?
Blackman's got you 3 times.
I've not been sold on Blackman. I've not. And but I like Gallatin. You know, traditionally they are a physical ball club. They run the ball, they stop the run, and I figure, you know, in a cross county rivalry like this one, I think that physicality is going to be right up their alley. But the Station Camp coach, Brent Alexander, is a former Green Waver himself, so that could add a little spice to this one. But I like Gallatin on the road in this one.
White County got the best of Station Camp last week, 54-27. But
and that kid from White County
is legit.
Malachi Dowell.
He's legit.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I'm not sure how much shame there is in losing to Station Camp, but to White County. So
right.
So you've got the Bison.
Last year, Station Camp had a great season. I think they started the season like 7-0. One of those wins was a 21-7 win at Gallatin. So I went with the Bison in this one by field goal. I think it's going to be a great game. Close game, could go either way, but I'm going to go with Station Camp. Last week, Mo, you were 7-3, 19-11 on the year. I went 5-5, 17-13 on the year. So should be a lot of fun to see how it keeps going.
We'll see.
If you are interested in what the rest of Main Street Prep's staff did, you can visit mainstreetpreps.com. It's one of the top 6 stories at the top of the page. You can click on that. Check out Monty Hale and Russell Venozzi, both at 21-9. How about that? So there you go.
It's a long season.
For those of you who are interested in what Mo thinks will happen in the rest of the Southern Middle Tennessee games, Mo, you want to run down real quick?
Real quick. Franklin Road Academy is at Columbia Academy. That's tomorrow night. I just think FRA's size is going to be a little much for CA. I've got FRA by a touchdown, 27-21. Richland at Hickman County. I've got Richland by a couple of touchdowns. I just like the way they're playing right now, and I think they're playing with a lot of confidence.
They are.
Spring Hill at Lewis County. I've got Lewis County 34-21. Chance Harmon played against Page after missing the Summit game. Caden Martin apparently is out for the year, which is a big blow for Spring Hill. Summertown and Collinwood, both these teams looking for their first wins of the season. Collinwood hasn't played since the week 1 opener, which was a 49-21 loss, 49-25 loss to Loretto. Their game last week against Grace Christian was a no contest for inclement weather.
Gotcha. Did they play at all? Do we know?
I think they played, but not to a conclusion, obviously. You were at Summertown in Richland last week, and Summertown showed some signs of improvement.
They did.
And I think they're going to take some of that momentum into this one on the road and combined with Collinwood's relative lack of play. I mean, they've just not been on the field either. I've got Summertown winning this one by a touchdown. Some of that Blackman tomorrow night. As you pointed out, Blackman's gotten me 3 times. So
at some point you got to go with Chandler Tiger.
I took the Blaze in this one by 10, and so this will be where Summit gets me probably, because that's the way it goes.
Well, not last week. You went 6-0 last week, unblemished record, 17-3 on the year, 85% here in Southern Middle Tennessee. That's pretty darn good.
It's not bad.
You'll take it. You'll take it. That's going to do it for our Thursday show. Tomorrow we pick college football for the weekend, so come back with us at 2 o'clock. We will have all of that and much, much more. We'll also have Jeff Him with our weekly Nashville Sounds segment where we talk a little bit about what's going on in the world of the Nashville Sounds. They've not had a great week this week over in Charlotte, so hopefully they're still in first place. I don't know. But plenty to get to tomorrow. Come back with us. We appreciate it. Here on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Have a great afternoon.